people on a variety of safe courses, including leading safe DevOps, safe for architects, safe for teams, and many more. Her extensive experience in driving global transformative initiatives has enabled organizations to align their vision, mission, and business strategies with agility while navigating the complexities of change and cultural dynamics. Priyanka's collaborative approach in building high performing teams is central to enabling successful strategy execution. So, without further ado, I will turn the time over to our speaker for today, Miss Priyanka. Thank you.
Hey, hi everybody. Very good morning to all of you. I hope everybody is doing well. Okay. I got the message maybe. Okay, so let me just start sharing my screen so that we can have an understanding that what we are going to discuss here. Okay, so just allow me a second here. And just in a few seconds, I will be switching on my camera as well. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, guys, everybody, please let me know if you are able to see me clearly. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, is my screen visible to everyone? Just a last confirmation from all of you.
Yes, we can see your screen. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joshua, for introducing me to the audience. And hi, everybody. My name is Priyanka Tiwari, as Joshua has already mentioned about it. So I will not be repeating the same for you. Let's try to understand that what we are doing separately when AI is coming into the picture, because nowadays AI is trending and we all know about it. So, what is happening in a role of a product owner when we also add a little glimpse of AI in this? Okay, so let's have a look. So the agenda for this is introduction. You will get an understanding of AI in the product landscape, the role of product owners in the age of AI, tools and frameworks for product owners. There will be a conceptual walkthrough, and then there will be a Q&A session for all of you. Yeah. So let's start with the objective of today's session, where my goal here is to provide you with a very clear understanding of what artificial intelligence really means for us as a product owners. So we will not go deep into the technicalities of algorithms or coding, but yes, we are definitely going to focus on the strategic, practical, and decision making aspects here. Okay. So before I start with this, I just would like to know from my audience here is that why do you think that why does this topic matters for the product owners? What is the reason behind that? Okay, somebody would like to try.
Yeah, you can type in your answer on the chat box. So,
Correct. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. In the meanwhile, people are typing it. I will tell you that what is my point of view in this. So the simple answer to this is that AI is no longer an optional for us. Okay. So it is becoming a standard part of how products are getting built. Yes, absolutely, Rochelle. A lot of clients or users are now asking for AI for integration. Absolutely right. Projects and businesses needs are getting more complex than ever. Absolutely correct. So now AI is not an option that okay, either you do it or you don't do it, but you have to do it because everybody is using it. So it is a trending thing now. Absolutely right, Dylan. So whether it is the recommendation systems on e-commerce platforms, it can be the fraud detection in banking or customer support chatbots. AI is already shaping the user journeys across the industries. So, as product owners, we sit at the intersection of business, technology, and customer needs. This means we have to be very much understanding this entire process so that this AI can be have the right choices and we can make some right choices with the help of AI. For example, what features we need to prioritize, what problems AI can relate to, or AI can realistically solve those problems, and where it might not be the right fit. Because again, you cannot have everything there. So, what is the relevance of AI in if you talk about the today's product ecosystem? So that is the influence of AI. It is influenced the entire product ecosystem. First, customers are expecting that you have more personalized experience. You can think of Netflix recommending movies or Spotify, which is suggesting the playlist. Second, it can be that the organizations which are increasingly looking to AI for efficiency, for automation, and for smarter decision making. And the third one is adopting AI, which means if we don't adopt AI, we risk falling behind. Yeah. But yes, we also need to understand that AI also comes up with some challenges. Now, those challenges can be some ethical concerns, some biasness in the data analysis, and the risk of over promising things. Hence, this entire situation makes the role of a product owner is very crucial because we have to ensure that the adoption of AI aligns with customer needs, business goals, and responsible practices. So let's start with the very first topic, understanding AI in the product landscape. So, as I said, AI is not just about being technical, it is directly impacting the customer needs, decision making, and the strategies as well. Okay. So, a very nice saying, AI is not coming to take your job because most of the people think that, okay, now we will be replaceable. You are replaceable if you don't know AI. So someone using AI is coming to take your job. That is the reality. So the first thing everyone should do is learn to use AI so that they can augment their own productivity. Okay. Now, what is the AI's role in enhancing the customer experience? So always remember, guys, that when we talk about AI's role, so AI capabilities scan millions of data points from various sources such as social media and review websites to spot the hidden patterns which are there. And that is how they provide insights beyond the traditional demographic stereotypes, like all gamers are male or all gamers are female, like very, very stereotype situations. They are coming out of it and allowing us to narrow down the segmentation as much as you want. So this can be like a makeup company that may has a targeted Facebook users, and they are just targeting the women above 50 years of age. So that is the segmentation that they are creating there. Okay, based on the audience profiling there. The another one is predictive analytics, which means that you use machine learning here to analyze the data to both for your internal customers and for your external customers. So internal can be the sales and customer data for you, which you are using it. For external, it can be the events that you are promoting in the market, competitor data, review, and social media comments for any insights. Third one is optimizing pricing based on demand. So again, I'm so sure you must be understanding this point that dynamic pricing is very common in industries such as hospitality and tourism with fluctuating customer demand. So if there is a popularity of flight or destination, you will have more high pricing in that. And then based on the seasons, based on the weekdays, weekends, also you will see that dynamic pricing happening there. The another one is sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis, which can specify that what customers like and dislike about your brand by giving your targeted negative and positive matrix on any specific topic, maybe, or any aspect of your business. For example, if I talk about a health system, so that can use the social media sentiment analysis to identify which aspects of their organization patients are happy with and which need to be improved or which they are not very much happy with. The next one is personalizing the content and improving customer engagement. So AI tools is giving you the customer set specific insights, okay, from purchase history, from website behavior. You can search, go for searches and scrolls and clicks, and you can understand the comments to predict what they may be interested in. So you can tailor and optimize your content for the maximum impact. And then you are having that visual analysis, yeah, where you have the visual AI algorithms which can identify the very, I would say, very basic patterns in visual content. They analyze the search histories and provide some targeted suggestions for design ideas or variations. Canva, such a very popular brand, and social networks like Pinterest. Okay, so these are the example of that only. And then you have NLP. Okay, what is a full form of NLP? Can anybody tell me in the chat box? It is a very, very common method. Okay, I will pass this for now. Okay, I will just hold on. NLP. I'm just writing it there. Okay, a very common term that we use here. So this NLP enables the virtual agents and chatbots so that they can understand the conversational language and they can respond to the customers by automatically generating the responses, which is based on set parameters, unlike the rule-based chatbots. Okay. Neuro linguistic programming. Okay, that is correct, but not maybe in the line of AI, I would say. Yes, natural language processing. Absolutely right, Daniel. Thank you. So AI based voice search optimization is also there, which is improving your website's content and structures to boost visibility there so that you are very much fare better in voice search rankings. AI also is helping to replace the tedious interactive voice recording systems which you usually hear when you call any customer support with intelligent voice automation to increase the customer service efficiency. Yeah. Now, what are the challenges and limitations of AI? So, this is the challenging and limitation, and I'm so sure everybody must be agreeing on this that yes, it is going to limit our training data. The first limitation is that data is not available for training data. If the training data contains some inaccuracies, outdated information, or maybe some inherent biasness, the AI's generated content can inadvertently mirror those issues, and you will not be able to understand that. Later on, maybe after you produce the product and you manufacture something, then you realize that, oh, this is not something that my customer is looking for. The next one is struggling with true creativity. So now AI models will not fall short if you ask them to write like Shakespeare. The issue is that not about how well they can mimic Shakespeare, rather it is how well they can create something original. And that is again another problem. So they are copying the ideas, they are copying the content, but they are not coming up with something original. So AI lacks the ability to make genuine and creative ideas at times, as it works by remixing the information on which it is trained. And the third one is lacking nuanced understanding, which means that you often struggle with some subtleties of human language, particularly when it comes to humor, sarcasm, and irony. These elements are very intrinsic to natural communication. They rely heavily on context, cultural enhances, and unexpected twists that are challenging for AI models to interpret because they can't understand your cultural humor and language that you have. Then you have difficulty with adaptability. So, again, even minor changes or adaptation in output often demand substantial human intervention and retraining efforts. And this lack of adaptability not only hampers the versatility of generative AI models in dynamic real world scenarios, but also it underscores the challenges of deploying these models in applications where you need the flexibility and rapid adjustments to be made. And the last one is data privacy and security. So, as we said, that the vast amounts of data is required to train these AI models, and which is raising quite significant privacy and security concerns. So, this large scale data collection and storage can become a target for cyber attacks, and without robust safeguards, the misuse of information can lead to some very significant breaches. So, when we are using AI, we need to keep these challenges and limitations also in mind to use the trend that we have right now in the market. Now, what is the role of the product owner in AI? So, the role of product owner is just being elevated here, not replaced. So, we are not saying that this is going to replace the entire product owner role. No, by artificial intelligence, you are elevating the role of product owner. So, instead of being bogged down by administrative tasks, the PO use this AI as a strategic assistant, or it can be the co-pilot, so that you can improve your decision making skills, you can enhance your product strategies, and you can free up time for also some high value human centric work. So the rise of AI introduces a specialized role which we call AI for product owners, which navigates the complex data centric ecosystems here. So the question is that what challenges or opportunities do you foresee in integrating AI with your current flow? So I will go to Joshua here.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Priyanka. So, hi everyone. For this question, we're gonna be using Mentimeter for an interactive activity. So, let me just share my screen. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so I'd like everyone to kindly log into www.menti.com or just menti.com and use the code 39982957 and answer the question shown on the screen. So what challenges or opportunities do you foresee in integrating AI with your current workflow, right? So I can see a couple of participants who have already joined. Okay, right. So I think they're typing their answers. So see data privacy. All right. How about the others? Data privacy, facilitate prioritization, data privacy and security. So I can see some responses here. So any thoughts, Ms. Priyanka, regarding these answers from the participants, from the
Yeah,
attendees?
I think they are very much in the session. I am happy to see these responses here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we just talked about it, and yes, they are definitely actively listening to us. So yes, data
Yeah.
privacy, security, reliability, and integrity issues. Yes.
All right. Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Priyanka. So I can see information security, summarized feedback, tech stack compatibility, tech skill gaps. So mostly data privacy and security. I can see those have been repeated as an answer here. Okay. Again, thank you so much to everyone who have answered this quick activity for Mentimeter. And I'm going to stop sharing right now. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over again to our speaker to continue the webinar discussions. Over to you, Ms. Priyanka. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Joshua. Let me start sharing my screen again. So let's talk about that. What can be the strategic evolution of the product owner? Okay, so we talk about that insight driven decisions. So when we use AI, it always helps us to analyze the vast amount of data, which is including the market trends, user feedback, and the usage patterns. And by using these specific amount of data, we can get some actionable insights. And this helps the PO to make some faster, smarter, and more data driven decisions about the prioritization of features and the roadmap for their own product. So, from data driven to insight driven, that we are talking about here. So, POs need to master this interpreting our AI outputs, and they should ask the right whys behind the what. And that is, I think, a very important point to understand that our prompts should be very clear when we need some information from AI. The second one talks about enhancing the backlog management. So AI tools can definitely automate the prioritization as well, okay, of the product backlog by scoring features based on the business values, the efforts, and the user impact. So what we are trying to understand, we are trying to managing the backlog, and from managing backlogs, we are trying to manage the outcomes. So AI can suggest the priorities. However, it is the PO who should be translating that into the real customer value. So AI just can give the suggestion, but product owners need to use their brain and their mind and their skill set to identify the right one. The third one is predictive analytics. We just talked about it, that AI powered tools can forecast some market trends. They can talk about the customer churn and product performance. And this augmented foresight allows POs to reduce the risk and plan the release cycles more effectively. Then we have a strategic experimentation here where AI can optimize, like, which, like, a slash b testing, we call it A/B testing, where you have two ways of doing something and which one you will go for. And the other experiments also by generating and analyzing the variations faster than a human, accelerating the learning cycle and ensuring that yes, there is a fast delivery of valuable increments. So in this, we are moving from tactical to the strategic leadership, where AI is handling some of the noise, POs can be more focused on a vision, on a stakeholder alignment, and on driving their roadmap innovation. And then we have the AI product vision, where we are moving from communication to facilitation. So AI supports meeting documentation, but the PO ensures clarity, direction, and consensus there. So in addition to the traditional products, PO need to define the vision for AI powered features. And this can include weighing the value of AI integrations, managing the data flows, and planning for the evolution of machine learning models. Yeah. So that is how it is going to change the role of a PO to be more strategic, to be more, I would say, visionary driven. And that is the usage of AI that we will be using as a PO. Now, what are the new skills and ethical responsibilities you will be getting there? So, you will get some essential human skills. Now, in essential human skills, you talk about the emotional intelligence. So, it is very crucial for effective stakeholder management, complex negotiations, and maybe sometimes building the relationships, and none of which AI can replicate. Creative problem solving. So, human creativity is very much important to envision the breakthrough innovations, and there will be leapfrog beyond the data driven recommendations. So for that you need your creativity. Empathy, again, deep empathy for the user's pain points and the nuanced needs of stakeholder is the foundation of product insight that again AI cannot replicate. Then we talk about the AI specific skills, which is data and AI literacy. So yes, a foundational understanding of artificial intelligence or machine learning concepts is necessary to comprehend how AI models work, their capabilities and their limitations. Ethical leadership, where again the POs must act as an ethical leader by ensuring that they have the data privacy, they are checking for algorithm based biasness, and they are maintaining transparency in how AI is used. And then the third one is the prompt engineering. As I said, that your prompt should be very clear and effective, because writing your clear and effective prompt is only the way for getting the high quality relevant output from your AI tools. Yeah. So team, I am so sure that you must be more confident after looking at this, that don't think that AI can do everything. No, AI cannot do everything. There are some things which only human brain can do, human skills can do, but yes, there are some things which AI can also help you with. So right now what I can see in the market, that people are just saying that okay, with AI coming, our job is not secure, we are going to be kicked off. But believe me, this is not like that. You just need to do the relentless improvement of your skill set to ensure that you are a valuable asset in the market. And that is how you learn AI. Yeah. Then we have ethical considerations and risk as well. So as I talked about, that's bias and fairness. So AI models are trained on very much historical data, and we already talked about that there are amplifying existing societal biasness, which can be related to the race, gender, or another demographics as well. So based on that, you will see some bias and fairness. So these are the considerations that you need to cover up. Ethical considerations. So a PO must ensure that AI model is trained on diverse and representative data sets. They need to define metrics to evaluate fairness across different user segments, not just the overall performance. Yeah. Then we talked about the risk of this, that what is the risk of being biased and fairness. So the risk is that biasness in AI could be lead to some unfair or maybe discriminatory outcomes. Yeah. For example, a biased hiring tool could unfairly screen out qualified candidates from certain backgrounds, which lead to the lawsuits and a poor public image. So that is the consideration, and that is the risk of biasness and fairness. The another point is data privacy and security. So what is the ethical consideration here is that a PO must establish clear protocols for collecting the data, for using that data, and for retention that data. So they need to ensure user consent is informed and explicit, and that data privacy regulations like the rules and GDPRs, all these acts should be followed. What is the risk of data privacy and security? That if you are not able to handle this personal data actually in a very secure manner, that can violate the user privacy, and that can lead to data breaches, and that can incur the massive fines there. The third one talks about transparency and explainability. So, the black box nature of many AI models where decisions are made without human understanding. without the reasoning of human understandable reasonings. That erodes user trust. So, what is the ethical consideration here? That a PO must advocate for explainable AI where appropriate, especially for high take stake decisions. So, they need to ensure that the product transparently communicates when and how AI is used and its limitations. What is the risk of doing this? So, again, if the AI's logical is opaque, users and regulators may be unable to challenge that or maybe hold the system accountable for errors or any harmful decisions. And this will lead to distrust and non compliance issues. Yeah. The next one is accountability and oversight. So, when you talk about accountability team with AI making decisions, we need to determine who is responsible when something goes wrong. And that will become very ambiguous. So, ethical consideration is that a PO has to establish a very clear human in the loop protocol for critical decisions. So, the PO and the team are ultimately accountable for the outcomes of their AI product as well. It is not AI tool. So, they need to have that oversight and validation mechanism in place to ensure that we are not goofing up here. The risk that we will be getting from this, that a lack of clear accountability can harm the users and damage the company's credibility as well, especially in very sensitive areas like healthcare or finance, where AI errors have some major significant consequences. Then we have user autonomy and manipulation. So, yes, AI can be used to nudge or manipulate the user behavior in ways that are not in their best interest. The ethical consideration is that the PO has to prioritize user empowerment and autonomy there. They should question whether AI is designed to genuinely assist users or to exploit the psychological vulnerabilities for business gain. And the risk you will be getting from this is manipulative design, such as an addictive AI recommendation engine that can damage the user well being and lead to a significant loss of brand trust and reputation. So, team, these are the specific points where we need to understand that as a PO, what are the measurements or what are the ways to resolve these risks, to stop the issues that they are facing right now, and what risk we can see through. Yeah. I'll just wait for a second if there are any questions. So let me know. So, what are the tools and frameworks for the product owners? So, let's have a look here. Yeah. So, team, many product management platforms are now embedding these AI capabilities to make our work more efficient. For example, you must have heard and used Jira and Trello. They are offering the AI assistants that can help automatically generate the user stories, summarize the task, or even predict the risk in sprints as well. Tools like AHA or Product Board are integrating AI to analyze customer feedback, and they also suggest the priorities there. So, the value here is that AI can take away some of the repetitive and manual effort of organizing and analyzing information, which is allowing us to focus more on decision making and strategies. So, if there we talk about the frameworks to prioritize the AI initiatives, so yes. Now, even if we talk about the tools here, we still need the right frameworks to decide which AI initiatives to invest in. As product owners, we often have a long list of possible features. So the question is that how do we prioritize that? Because definitely every feature cannot be launched at one go. So frameworks like WSJF, which stands for weighted shortest job description or weighted short job first, where you are actually, and it is from Scale Agile framework, where you are actually talking about the cost of delay and the job duration of a specific job. And based on that, you are prioritizing your features. Or the another one is RISE, where you are like trying to analyze the reach, impact, confidence, and effort points. These are especially useful. Now, with AI projects, it is very critical to balance the business value against the complexity and risk. So, for instance, you might find that building a personalized recommendation system has a very high impact, but also it requires significant data maturity. So it is very important to understand that using these structured frameworks ensures that we are not just chasing the shiny AI features, but also focusing on what will deliver tangible value to the customer. Because at the end, that all makes sense, that whether you are able to deliver some tangible value to the customer or not. Let's have a look that AI is not just technical, it directly impacts customer needs, decision making, and strategy. So artificial intelligence is grow fast as are robots whose facial expressions can elicit empathy and make your mirror neurons quiver. So let's have a look at the conceptual walkthrough that how we can make it possible. Yeah. So just have a look. So these are the different phases of development life cycle as a product owner, as an AI product life cycle conceptual walkthrough for product owners, where you are emphasizing the iterative, data intensive, and collaborative nature of developing AI solutions. Unlike the traditional software where you are prioritizing the defining the right business problem and then managing the data and continuously monitoring the model performance to ensure the product remains valuable. So what are these stages? Let's have a look at it. So the stage one, phase one is discovery and problem scoping. Okay. Where you as a product owner, where you need to connect business needs with AI potential, the focus is on finding a high impact, feasible problem that AI can solve. Okay. Now you start defining here by maybe the business value, not the AI solution. So as a product owner, you will identify a compelling business problem. Yeah. So a good prompt for your team is like, can we use AI to solve a business problem? Not how can we use AI. So again, as I said, the good prompt is always important. Then you validate the use case there. So use frameworks like who, what, where, whys, which we call 4Ws, to deeply understand the problem, stakeholders, and the benefits. Then you can conduct the feasibility studies also by assessing the potential business value, technical difficulty, and risk. Then you will be defining a clear product vision and success metric. Yeah, where you are ensuring that yes, translating the business goal into a specific measurable AI challenge. For example, instead of improving customer support, you define a vision like reduce call center ticket volume by 30% using an AI chatbot. That will also help you to establish your clear KPIs early on to measure success. And the last point in the stage one is considering ethical and responsible AI guidelines. Again, start thinking about potential biasness in the data, ethical implications, and compliance requirements, especially with the sensitive data that you have. The phase two talks about the data acquisition and preparation. So, which means that the AI product owners must treat data as a primary asset because your role is to align with data scientists to ensure that right data is collected ethically and effectively to fuel the AI model. Okay. Now, what product owner will be doing here? So they will be defining the data requirements. So work with the data teams to identify and source the right data sets, including both proprietary and external data. Maybe the garbage in and garbage out is critically here, means poor data will lead to a very flawed AI products. Okay. Plan for data privacy and compliance, where you are ensuring that there is a data collection and there is preparation adheres to privacy regulations as well there, so that anonymization is handled appropriately. Then you are prioritizing the data labeling. So if label data is required, you must prioritize that process. For a MVP, which is minimum viable product, this might involve labeling a small, high quality subset of data so that you can test the core concept. Then you can create a roadmap as well. So understand the long-term data strategy include how data will be collected, cleaned, and stored over time to continuously improve the model. The third stage talks about model development and evaluation, where you are going to bridge, or you are the bridge actually between the technical team and the business, and your focus is not on the algorithm itself, but on the model's performance, which is relative to the business problem. Okay. So here we are trying to validate the MVP hypothesis, where you might develop an MVP first, and then you need to ensure that yes, the technical performance metric like accuracy, precision, they are getting tracked towards the business KPIs, which is defined in the stage one. Okay. Then you will review the model explainability, work with the engineers to understand why the model makes certain decisions. Then manage the technical and business trade-offs also. Understand the compromises between the model accuracy, speed, and interpretability. For instance, a highly complex model might be more accurate, but it is often slower and harder to explain also. So might it is not the right thing to go ahead with. And the last one is incorporate human feedback. Iterative testing process, very important because that will include getting the feedback from early users. So, for example, in a chatbot project, you would gather feedback on how users' perspective, the AI's response, and the overall utility of that chatbot. The fourth stages is where you start deploying and integrating. So again, like you start with plan the go-to-market strategy. Develop a rollout plan that considers that yes, how users will interact with the AI. That can include the phases releases, the A/B testing, or maybe launching a limited version to early adopters. Then you define the user interface and experience, UI and UX, a very common term that we use. So AI product user experience can be complex. So you need to ensure that user experience is very intuitive and that the interaction which is happening between human and AI is seamless and trustworthy. And then you are aligning internal and external communication there. So you have coordinate messaging across all stakeholders, including marketing, legal, and support teams, to manage the expectations around the product's capabilities. Then you establish the morning and like monitoring and governance as well there. So work with the ops team, the machine learning ops team, to set up right infrastructure for monitoring the model's performance, latency, and compliance in the production environment, because that strong infrastructure is very much important. And last but not the least, continuous improvement and maintenance. So when we talk about AI product lifecycle, that does not end at deployment. Product owner drives continuous iteration based on the right data and user feedback to ensure that there is a long-term value. So what you are doing there, you are monitoring for model drifts. So real world data can change over time, causing the model's performance to degrade. You need to oversee the monitoring of key metrics to detect when the model needs to be retrained. Leverage feedback loops. Continuously collect and analyze the user feedback so that you can identify the model weaknesses and new opportunities as well. This could lead to new feature development or improvements to the existing model. Then you prioritize the jobs, maybe backlogs, and based on the live data. So use insights from the live product, such as model performance matrix and user behavior data, so that you can inform and prioritize the next set of features or model updates. Then you plan for scaling and technical depth as well, because scaling up is very much important. As the product grows, you will need to prioritize resources for scaling infrastructure and addressing the technical depth that is getting accumulated during the rapid development. And last one, where you are evaluating the model retirement. Eventually, the model or product may become obsolete. So you should evaluate the performance against business needs to identify when to invest in a new model or when to phase out the old one. That learning and that I would say that information is very much important to understand. So that's how AI in a product lifecycle, where we are doing the ideation, prioritization, design, and deployment. And there is an example of we're talking about how AI fits into a product lifecycle. So imagine we are working in an e-commerce company. One of the biggest challenges customer face is information overload. They browse through thousands of products and still can't find what they want. So a common AI solution can be here is that you have personalized product recommendations there. And how that flows through a product lifecycle, it's like that, where the idea is coming from observing the customer pain points, low conversation rates, low conversion rates, and high cart abandonment there. So PO proposes an AI recommendation system to solve this. And then they start prioritizing it. So using frameworks like RISE or WSJ, the PO will compare the initiative against others, such as improving search filters or enhancing the checkouts. AI recommendations score high on impact and reach, so it gets prioritized. Then you start designing. So here the PO works with UX designers and data scientists to define that what the recommended features should look like. And do we show recommendations on the home page, product pages, or the cart pages? So by doing all this, PO ensures that feature aligns with customer journeys. Then you do the deployment, where once developed, the system is deployed in phases. So first as an A/B team with a small group of customers, then you are scaling it across the platform, and then the PO is monitoring the KPIs like click through the rate average, click through the rates and then average order value and the customer satisfaction scores. So these are the key checkpoints for POs during the adoption. Okay. As again, as POs, you will have unlimited checkpoints there. For example, data readiness, business value alignment, ethical checks, measuring outputs. So that all will conclude your entire product life cycle so that you can come up with some better products, which are, I would say, which are going to be used by the customer, which maybe customer is not looking for right now, but yes, they have hypothetically imagined about those products. Okay, so Joshua, which area of AI do you believe will have the greatest impact on your product management strategy in the next year?
Right? Yeah. All right. So I think we have the responses here. So most of them answered predictive analytics and forecasting, and the others have answered personalized customer experience and AI-driven backlog management. Yeah. So over to you again, Ms. Priyanka. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Joshua. So yes, I agree with most of the people here that yes, we need to understand the analytics and the forecasting and to come up with the better ideas and the better products before customer leave us and move to some other service provider. And that is something that we need to ensure that it is not happening there. Okay, now it is the time for Q&A session. So I'll wait for a few moments and we'll wait for your questions here in the chat box if you have any.
Yeah, so encouraging everyone to please put your questions on the chat box. So if you guys have any questions, so this is the right time for you to type it in, and our trainer is happy to answer some of your questions. So yeah, we'll go ahead and wait for some of your questions on the Zoom chat box if you guys have any. All right. So perhaps I can see some reactions. You guys could click on the Zoom react. If you guys don't have any questions, kindly click the thumbs up react so we can proceed. All right. I can see a couple of thumbs up. I think the discussion here is very clear and insightful. Okay. How about the others? All right. So I think most of the participants don't have any more questions. But if you do have, you can also drop your thoughts via our LinkedIn page or Facebook page at Apex Global Learning, or email us at training@apexgloballearning.com. So sounds good?
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
Joshua.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So I'm going to turn it over again to you, Miss Priyanka.
Thank you. So at the end, let's have a look at what are the key takeaways from this session here. So yes, when we talk about AI is an enabler, not a replacement. So a very, I would say, very trending myth these days in the industry that AI will replace human beings. Not really. It is going to strengthen the decision making and customer experiences. But believe me, as a product owner, you will remain responsible for the visions and the outcomes, whatever coming through. Product owners must bridge business and AI. Yes, it is very important because at times we are doing some repetitive work, which is again the manual efforts, which is not getting us that much productivity. So we need to understand the non value added activities as a product owner role, and we need to align the customer needs, business goals, and technical feasibility while adopting the AI. Use frameworks and data to optimize and prioritize the work. So rely on structured prioritization like WSJF, RISE, and data-driven insights as well. Not just assuming something, not just assumptions when you are deciding on AI initiatives. And the last one is responsible AI build trust. Ethics, transparency, fairness in AI adoption are just as important as innovation and speed. So we just talked about all these points here, and that's how I am just uh, ending this or wrapping up the session for you guys. I hope the session was useful, was insightful, and you got some learning and some major points that you need to start adopting in your role as a product owner. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Priyanka. So as we wrap up today's session, I'd like to share a valuable resource with you. If you're looking to dive deeper into Agile and Scrum, or perhaps explore specialized courses like SAFe, Product Owner, Scrum Master, and more, feel free to check out the courses offered on our Agile and Scrum category page. It's a great place to continue your learning journey and enhance your skills. So thank you again, everyone, for your participation for today's Xposium event. To properly end the session, I am sharing you this quick survey that we have for you. So hold on, please. All right. We request everyone to kindly fill this out as this will generate important information that we could use for our next exposiums and any topic of interest that you would like to tackle. Once again, thank you for attending our exposium for today only here at Apex Global. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, everyone.